Good evening. Welcome to EmoNews for November 13th, 2025. I am your presenter, Soana Benjamin. In the headlines this evening, PM Skerrit addresses concerns regarding the reconfirmation process, says Electoral Commission is independent of his influence. Catholic youth gather for Jubilee Youth Fest 2025. VAT-free day for St. Lucia, and local philanthropist wins big in Super 6 lottery. These stories and more straight ahead. We begin with local news. At a press conference held this morning, Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit addressed public sentiment regarding the reconfirmation of electors going on in Dominica presently, especially with regards to the identification documents needed for reconfirmation.
However, on October 14, 2025, one day before the confirmation period began, the Commission, in its own deliberate judgment, issued SRO number 39 of 2025, removing the affidavit of identity together with the person's certificate of birth and a certified passport size photograph as an acceptable alternative method of identification for confirmation. This decision, many regard to be contrary to the intent of Parliament, has placed many voters, particularly elderly, low-income and unemployed, at some disadvantage. And though I understand the circumstance and the deep concerns the Commission would have had as to why they would have made such a change, I may want to urge the Commission to revisit its decision and to ensure greater participation.
The Prime Minister also addressed the matter of calling general elections.
The Constitution is supreme, and when you take an oath, nothing can fetter the exercise of your functions and duties under the Constitution. So the Parliament cannot pass any law, whether it's an election law or law curtailing the authority of the President or the government, that is contrary to the Constitution. Neither can a resolution be passed in the Parliament that is contrary to the Constitution. That's established globally, where there are written constitutions. And even countries where there are no written constitutions, it can happen. And so they're two distinct matters. The Constitution is very clear that an election can be called in the country at any time by the President on the advice of the Prime Minister. And this is what the Constitution says. So that is supreme. So nothing else that Parliament does can fetter that, or can constrict that authority, or take that authority away from the existing provisions.
Honorable Skerrit stressed that the Electoral Commission is an independent body, and as such, he hates hearing comments inferring that he has influence over what the Commission does.
Let me turn now to concerns raised in recent weeks regarding aspects of the voter registration and confirmation process, matters which, in accordance with the Constitution, fall wholly and solely within the authority of the Electoral Commission. I hear people making statements, ascribing those statements to the Prime Minister. The Constitution is very clear. The electoral laws are very clear. We have no responsibility in respect to what the Commission does. The Constitution is very clear. The Electoral Commission is an independent creature of the Constitution. It is insulated.
In more news, The Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Green Economy has announced an early start to Dominica's 2025-2026 white potato season. A shipment of seed potatoes has arrived on island, 1,160 bags in total, featuring two high-yield varieties, Desiree and Spunter. The seeds will first undergo testing by the plant quarantine unit to confirm their quality and ensure that they are disease-free. Once testing is complete, the ministry expects seed sales to begin by mid-November. Farmers will soon receive details on seed prices and packages, which will include inputs such as agrochemicals, tilling, and transport services. Planting is scheduled to take place between December and January 2026, with harvesting anticipated about 3 to 4 months later, between March and April 2026. The ministry is encouraging farmers and cooperatives to pre-register with the extension officers or local farmer service centers to access seeds, inputs, and technical support. Officials say white potatoes continue to offer a profitable short-cycle crop and are urging farmers to seize this opportunity to strengthen local food production and income. And once again, for more information, you may contact the Division of Agriculture at 266-3994, 266-3807, or 266-3271.
The Ministry of Agriculture would like to inform white potato farmers that we're in the process of completion of the clearing of the white potato seed consignment, and that we are encouraging all our farmers to come forward to through the extension officer or through the regional offices to indicate the interest to establish white potatoes. We have imported the seeds earlier this year, and so we're expecting to engage farmers to have the entire consignment planted before the end of this year. As you know, traditionally we would have brought in the seeds towards the end of December, but we are hoping for an earlier planting season, and so we're going to encourage all of our farmers to get in contact with the extension officers or through our regional teams, regional offices, or at the national office at Banner's House. We want to ask farmers to indicate the number of bags that they're interested in planting. We have a special incentive program, so they can also request information from the extension officers about that incentive program in relation to farmers who are willing to establish at least 1 acre of white potatoes. The two varieties that we have imported, Spunter and Desiree, which are varieties that our farmers will be familiar with, and these varieties are very suited to our local conditions. We are hoping for a very successful season, and we are hoping to engage all of our farmers in relation to that establishment. What I can tell farmers is that we have not established a price point for sale, but keep tuned to the media, so that will be made available as soon as possible, and we are also developing an incentive package for those who are willing to establish at least 1 acre of white potatoes. So be in touch, liaise with the extension officer, or you can contact the main office directly and to get more information.
And local philanthropist Gloria Walsh is the second Super 6 winner of 2025. Her total winnings of $270,000 was presented to her on Thursday by the Dominica National Lottery, DNL. Walsh, who is a mother of 4, director of the Love One Teach One Foundation, and interim manager at Community Hostel Inc., formerly the Grotto Home, has been playing the game for more than 10 years since restarting after having taken a break. She hopes that persons will be encouraged by her winnings to keep believing in themselves and in their chances to win.
I hope my winning inspires others to keep believing, stay hopeful, and never give up. Because one simple ticket, one small chance can truly change your life. In closing, I would like to extend my sincere thanks once again to the Lottery Commission and to everyone who has reached out with kind words and congratulations.
According to Walsh, she has not yet decided how she will spend her winnings.
Well, I'm feeling happy that I bought a quick and lo and behold, that night, when I look at the ticket, I saw I was the winner. But any plans to say? Well, I haven't. I have. It's a long thought. It's a long thought, but well, I intend to use it well. I intend to use it. So, surprisingly, the night when I came from the daughter home, because I'm the interim manager there for the time, and I forgot my ticket. I forgot my ticket at home in a book. But then I was more concentrating on the daily free numbers. And then a friend told me, let's rush inside there because I was kind of a bit late though. And then I just said I want a quick look.
Meanwhile, sales and marketing representative at the DNL, Ken George, says that Dominicans can now boast of having won the Super 6.
This is reasons and more testimony that we, our players here in Dominica, our customers, you too can win. We have been on a drive to promote the combo plays, which we have noticed is being very well received among the customers. So you can play the straight, the combo, whatever you choose to do, make sure you play your Super 6 game.
So far, the Super 6 game has paid out over $1.7 million in winnings in Dominica, with the highest being $1.19 million. The winning ticket was purchased at Esmat Supermarket on October 14. In other news, in commemoration of World Food Day 2025, World Mission Society Church of God, in partnership with the Ministry of Social Services and the Ministry of Agriculture, has donated 25 food packages to families and individuals across Dominica who are experiencing economic hardship, health challenges, and the impacts of the climate crisis. The initiative forms part of the church's global Hold Hope campaign, which aims to share love, compassion, and practical support with communities in need around the world. The beneficiaries were selected by the Ministry of Social Services, Community Development, and Gender Affairs in collaboration with the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Green Economy, ensuring that assistance reaches those most in need. A representative of the World Mission Society Church of God in Dominica expressed gratitude for the opportunity to partner with the government, noting that through small acts of sharing, we can bring great hope to those facing difficult circumstances. Minister for Social Services, Honorable Cassandra Williams, PS in Health, Dr. Kira Paul, and PS in Agriculture, Ryan Anselm, commended the church for its generosity and commitment to humanitarian work, highlighting that the donation aligns with Dominica's ongoing efforts to strengthen food security and social protection systems in vulnerable communities. And finally, young people from across the Diocese of Roseau will come together on Saturday, November 15th for a celebration of hope as part of the Catholic Church Jubilee 2025. The event will begin with a procession at 9 a.m. from the forecourt of the Windsor Park Stadium to the St. Jared's Hall. This will be followed by a holy hour, during which time the young people will strengthen their connection with God. Following the holy hour, there will be an engagement with Bishop Kendrick Forbes, where the young people will seek clarification on faith matters. A highlight for the day will be a praise festival from 12 noon. The festival will feature popular local artists such as Marie Pascal Afana and Lily Octave, among others. During the festival, there will also be the launching of World Youth Day 2027 to be held from 3rd to 8th August in Seoul, South Korea, under the theme, Take Courage, I Have Overcome the World. Saturday's event will attract young people from all parishes in the diocese and from Catholic schools and will serve as faith building for Catholic youth of the diocese. Youth Fest 2025 will be held at the St. Jared's Hall in Roseau from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. That's it for local news. Stay tuned for regional news coming up.
We're at the different phases in life. We move at a different pace. All we need is to be supported. Cause when the baby's coming, business needs revamping, the new job's starting, and you need an outfit. Let momentum hook you up. Momentum will hook you up. The wedding's planning, rent due dates coming. Momentum is your support financing. Let momentum hook you up. Momentum will hook you up.
And originally, Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre has confirmed that a VAT-free day will take effect in December 2025. He assured citizens that there will be sufficient time after Election Day for Parliament to meet and officially approve the measure, guaranteeing it is implemented lawfully and in the best interest of the people. The Prime Minister reaffirmed his government's commitment to upholding democratic principles and conducting the nation's business with transparency, accountability, and integrity. And finally, in regional news, CARILEC has activated its disaster assistance program to help restore electricity in Jamaica after Hurricane Melissa. The powerful Category 5 storm struck on October 28th, knocking out power to over 70% of the island. The Jamaica Public Service Company says 64% of customers now have electricity restored. 17 regional utilities and 2 private contractors have joined the recovery effort, sending more than 130 line workers to assist. CARILEC's Executive Director, Dr. Cletus Burton, praised the regional cooperation, calling it a strong example of unity and mutual support in times of disaster. And that's all the regional news for this evening. Stay tuned for international news. And internationally, France marks 10 years since the Paris terror attacks that killed 132 people. President Emmanuel Macron led tributes to the victims of the 2015 assaults on cafes, restaurants, and the Bataclan Concert Hall, the deadliest attacks in France since World War II. At a ceremony outside the Stade de France, where the first explosion struck, victims' families and survivors gathered to honor those lost, vowing never to forget the tragedy that changed the nation. And finally, President Donald Trump has signed a bill ending the longest government shutdown in U.S. history. The 43-day standoff left hundreds of thousands of federal workers without pay and disrupted key services from travel to food assistance. The House passed the funding measure 222 to 209, with Trump's support helping push it through. Speaking from the Oval Office, he said, "We can never let this happen again." The deal keeps the government open through January 30th, giving federal agency time to recover as the nation heads into the busy holiday season. And of course, that is some welcome news to all those with families in America. And that's it for international news. Stay tuned for the sports package after this short break.
Double the draws, double the chances, double the excitement. Match 5, your local jackpot game.
And in sports news, 4 schools participated in the sports division primary schools district cross country for the Northeastern District. The schools are Woodfordale Primary School, Wesley Primary, Wales Strathmore Stevens Primary, and Concord Primary. The participants are Kerry-Ann Alexander from Wesley Primary, Kyra Bedminster from Wales Strathmore Stevens, Adelia Joseph from Woodfordale Primary, Layla Benjamin from the Concord Primary, and Celine Hakim from the Wales Strathmore Stevens Primary. The event was won by the Wesley Primary School, and the participants in the male category were Majid Prince and Fernando Wallace from the Woodfordale Primary School, Kaylan Peters, Neville Peters, and Joshua Hippolyte from the Wesley Primary School. The Wesley Primary School also won the male competition. The South District Championships was held earlier today around the location of the Granby Secondary School, while the Northwest was held in Maho. The Southwest and West Central will be held on Friday at the Botanical Gardens in Roseau at 2 p.m., while the Southeast will be held in the area of the Castlebruce playing field, also on Friday at the same time. EmoNews encourages the general public to go out and support the students in large numbers. Keep in mind the finals will be held on Wednesday next week at the Botanical Gardens. Plan early to be there to support your school. And in more news, Dominica got off to a strong start at the EGVA Under-23 Men's Volleyball Championships, claiming a 3-1 victory over Grenada. Team captain Larian Tulloch led the way with 15 points, 14 kills and 1 ace, while Sharon Vidal added 12 points, including 10 kills and 2 aces. Set scores were 28-26, 25-16, 23-25, and 25-18 in favor of Dominica. The team takes on Anguilla this evening. And tough luck for Dominica's national football team in their opening match of the CONCACAF series. After taking the lead early in the second half, Dominica conceded 2 late goals and fell 2-1 to French Saint Martin. Despite the setback, the team remains optimistic and will look to bounce back in their second match against Dutch Saint Martin this Saturday. And there was no more good news for Dominica in the ANOSES OECS Table Tennis Championships, as the players failed to advance further than the second round in the open singles events. The tournament was won by St. Lucia. Dominica's best effort was 3rd place in the men's team events. And that's all for sports this evening. Stay tuned for the weather report from the Dominica Meteorological Service.
There we go now. Ready for the flow. Rich boy. Hey! Yeah! Literally this.
Hello, good day, and welcome to our weather broadcast for today, Thursday, November 13th. I am your presenter, Annika Joseph. Now let's begin with the surface analysis, and out in the Atlantic, you have these 2 low pressure systems within the monsoon trough. Across the Lesser Antilles, we continue to see the ridge being the dominant feature, while on the northern Atlantic, we have this stationary front. Now let's take a look at the satellite imagery, and we can see this area of cloudiness associated with the monsoon trough. We also have this upper level flow associated with the subtropical jet. Across the Lesser Antilles, some shallow patches of clouds associated with the ridge being dominant and moving across the Lesser Antilles, maintaining some partly cloudy to cloudy skies throughout the day. And across this area, we have the stationary front. Now, this area is expected to dip further southwards during the next couple of days, and this is going to create some northerly swells in the area, creating some concerns for our marine coastlines. Now let's take a look at Dominica during the course of the morning, and Quite a bit of low-level clouds moved across the island, maintaining partly cloudy to cloudy skies throughout the morning. The radar imagery indicated some scattered showers associated with these clouds as they moved across the island during the course of the morning. Conditions for tonight: fair to partly cloudy skies with a few showers. A weak, dry, low-level trough is expected to move across the area tonight. However, should not expect any significant shower activity. Temperatures to dip down to 23 degrees Celsius on the coast, about 20 in the interior, while our winds generally changing to east-southeasterly, peaking to near 25 kilometers per hour. Tomorrow, this trough system should linger across the area. However, we should expect partly cloudy to cloudy skies with a few showers, and this similar pattern expected to extend into Saturday. As we move into Sunday, you can expect a slight increase in cloudiness with some showers and possible isolated thunderstorms, as a favorable upper level wind flow could enhance these activities. Temperatures to peak near 33 degrees Celsius tomorrow, Friday, 32 on Saturday and Sunday. Nights to cool to near 23 degrees Celsius on the coast and about 20 in the interior. Winds on Friday generally east-southeasterly to southeasterly, peaking to near 20 kilometers per hour. Some reduction in wind speeds expected on Saturday, down to about 15 kilometers per hour, and on Sunday, peaking to near 20 kilometers per hour, generally out of the east. Marine conditions: as the frontal system draws nearer to the area, we expect to see an increase in northerly swells and an increase in wave periods, and this could result in an increase in ground swells and stronger wave actions. As a result, a high surf advisory is in effect and will remain in effect until next week. Seas to peak near 5 feet on the west coast and about 7 feet on the east coast throughout the next 3 days. The sun will rise tomorrow at 6:07 a.m. and set at 5:33 p.m. Our high tide tomorrow will be at 11:44 a.m. and the low tides will be at 5:24 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. For up-to-date information, you can follow our WhatsApp channel by scanning this QR code, or you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Dominica Met, or our website at weather.gov.dn. Thank you for viewing, and join us tomorrow for your next weather broadcast. Good day.
This has been Emo Nightly News for November 13th, 2025. I am your presenter, Soana Benjamin. Do have a good evening.